Hello friends, I am Arpit and I am here with today's analysis. Today is 23rd of November and we are going to deal with three very important topics which are in news. The first is Swachh Vayu Sarvekshan. This is kind of a survey which surveys the quality of the air. And the Central Pollution Control Board does this survey. Who has mandated it? Ministry of Environment has mandated it. Why is it in news? Because again, Delhi's air quality has deteriorated. And when in September this happened, Delhi was the ninth cleanest city, or Delhi's air, or Delhi was positioned at the ninth number. This is, I would say, disturbing. And this Swachh Vayu Sarvekshan basically has been part of NCAP, National Clean Air Program, which is our second topic. We need to understand this program also. So under this National Clean Air Program, which aims to reduce the concentrations of particulate matter 2.5 and PM10 in 131 cities of the country by 40%. This NCAP is I would say a program again of Ministry of Environment. This releases this Swachh Vayu Sarvekshan, this kind of a survey which tells us, or an assessment which tells us that what or how is the air quality of the city. So both these can be considered as connected topics, and air pollution a big concern right now, and part of obviously ecology and environment, so becomes important for you guys to understand each and everything related with it. We've done air quality index, we've done graded response action plan of the government. We've seen the reasons why this air quality has deteriorated presently in the Delhi NCR region. And now we should also know Swachh Vayu Sarvekshan and the National Clean Air Program. And the next topic is World Energy Employment Report. Now this employment report gives us a picture that how many people in a country are involved or employed in non-renewable energy sources and not renewable energy sources. The World Energy Agency releases this report, and it was remarkable to note that in many countries, including in India, the number of people employed in non-fossil based fuels avenues, or I would say sustainable, sectors, are more than as compared to the fossil fuel based sectors. So this we will see. Swachh Vayu Sarvekshan. Now, as the name suggests, it talks about the clean air. This Sarvekshan is, I would say, an assessment of the air quality. Multiple cities, I would say 131 cities, which are part of National Clean Air Program, they are covered. And the Central Pollution Control Board actually conducts this survey, and it is mandated by Ministry of Environment. So this survey was conducted, and this, in September, Indore was placed at number 1. Delhi was placed at 9th number. But if this survey is done in the present day scenario, I'm pretty sure that Delhi is not going to hold that position, that is 9th position. It is one of the most polluted cities of the country right now. And this also highlights the fact that this pollution which has happened in Delhi right now is not, I would say, an year-long phenomenon. It is something, which is happening every year when the winter starts setting in. Because this survey was done in September, and that at that time the air quality of Delhi was clean and positioned at 9th number. So let us look into details of this. Now in September 2023, Swachh Vayu Sarvekshan, the clean air survey, the results were announced. Conducted by CPCB, Central Pollution Control Board. Swachh Vayu Sarvekshan is an initiative by Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change to rank cities on the basis of air quality and implementation of activities approved under the National Clean Air Program in 131 non-attainment cities. Non-attainment cities means those cities which are not able to attain their air quality standards. These are called as NAAQS, National Ambient Air Quality Standards. Now, objectives of this particular survey is to create awareness among all sections of the society. Awareness about what? Awareness about air quality. Inform citizens about the health impacts related to the exposure. There are multiple health impacts. You can feel, I would say, choked, asthmatic. You can also, develop various respiratory diseases. So all this can be tackled. Comparing air quality at different cities' locations and achieve the goal of NCAP, that is clean air for all. The goal of NCAP is that we have to reduce 40% the concentration of PM 2.5 and PM 10 from 2017 levels. Means in whatever city, let's suppose Delhi, concentration of PM 2.5 and PM 10 was X and Y in 2017. So from 2017, it has now to be reduced by X minus 40%, Y minus 40%. And this achievement has to be done by 2025-26. This is the target under National Clean Air Program. And this has to be achieved. This is also one of the objectives of Swachh Vayu Sarvekshan. The findings of this year's, I would say, Swachh Vayu Sarvekshan. You can see Indore, which is at number 1 position. Agra, second. Delhi, 9th position. This is category 1 cities where population over 10 lakh is there and 47 such cities were there. Then category 2 cities, 3 to 10 lakh. Now in this category 2 cities, Ujjain was ranked the highest. Category 3, population under 3 lakh, 40 cities were there, and in this Devas, this is a city in MP, this was ranked at top position. Means category 1, Indore, MP. Category 2, Ujjain, again MP. Category 3, Devas, again MP. So this is there, and this is category 1, Indore at the first position. Category 2, Amravati at the first position. Category 3, Parvanu at the first position. And this is basically an assessment under this. The next is National Clean Air Program. National Clean Air Program was envisaged in 2019 by Ministry of Environment. Now, as the name suggests, the aim of this program is to improve the air quality. Air quality has been deteriorating, and this is, I would say, a common phenomenon not only in India but worldwide. But this National Clean Air Program is obviously a program envisaged by Government of India, Ministry of Environment. And what was the target kept in 2019? The target kept in 2019 was that we have to reduce the concentration of PM 2.5 and PM 10 by 20 to 30% from 2017 levels by 2024. This was the target set. How many cities were chosen? 131 cities were chosen where national ambient air quality standards were not met. Was Delhi part of it? Yes, definitely Delhi was part of it. So the target was reduction of only 2 pollutants, PM 2.5, PM 10. How much reduction had to be done? 20 to 30%. By when? 2024. This was the National Clean Air Program when it was envisaged in the year 2019. But last year, that is 2022, these targets were increased. They said that no, not 20 to 30%. You have to do, or you have to achieve a reduction of 40%. 1 year was also extended. 2025-26 was the year now. But the enhanced target was 40% reduction has to be done of PM 2.5 and PM 10 from 2017 levels. This is the National Clean Air Program right now. Why the targets were increased? Because the government realized that even after raising the targets, 40% of the targets, 40% of reduction has to be done. Then also in many cities across India, among these 131 cities, the concentration of PM 2.5 and PM 10 is going to be beyond limits. What are the limits? What should be the permissible, I would say, ideal situation? PM 2.5, PM 10. PM 2.5's concentration should not be more than 40 micrograms per meter cube, and PM 10's concentration should not be more than 60 micrograms per meter cube. This is, I would say, the ideal situation. The government said that even after reducing by 40%, then also in many cities, this will not be met. The PM 2.5, PM 10, that is 40 micrograms per meter cube and 60 micrograms per meter cube for PM 10. But in multiple cities, it will be under permissible limits. So that is why the targets were increased. So now let us look into the details of this. Who launched it? Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. When? 2019. It seeks to reduce concentration of PM 10 and PM 2.5 by at least 20 to 30% by 2024. This was the target of reduction in 2019 with 2017 as the base year. It is being implemented in targeted 131 cities which did not conform to national ambient air quality standards for 5 years. Now the country's current annual safe limits, PM 2.5 is 40 micrograms per meter cube and PM 10 it is 60 micrograms per meter cube. So it is like this. So in the notes you receive, you may see UG. UG is like this, micrograms. Don't get confused because this is the font which is at fault. Microgram is 10 raised to power minus 3 grams. Okay. Now, adopting the air-shed approach to deal with pollution. Now, what is air-shed approach? We've talked about GRAP, Graded Response Action Plan. Now, air-shed approach, in this approach, you consider the entire atmosphere above you as one unit. It is not like that pollutants which are coming out in Delhi will stay over Delhi only and will be polluting Delhi's air only. It may be a possibility that pollutants which are coming in the neighboring states of Delhi, they are polluting Delhi, and which is actually happening. Stubble burning in Punjab and Haryana are causing a problem over here in Delhi NCR. How do we tackle it? We tackle it by an air-shed approach. We consider the air above us to be, I would say, common. And collectively, we form a strategy to deal with it. Not only Delhi will form a strategy to deal with it, but Delhi can take along with itself Haryana, Punjab, UP and all. That is an air-shed approach. Because other factors like westerlies are also there into play. Westerlies are winds that blow from west to east. They bring the pollutants from Punjab, Haryana to Delhi. So we should not be, like Delhi has or Delhiites have polluted this. It is, a collective effort should be there to tackle it. That is air-shed approach. Now, city-specific action plans have to be developed, which include measures to strengthen monitoring network, reduce vehicular or industrial emissions, raise public awareness, etc. Now, how this can happen? This can happen with more and more usage of public transport, more and more awareness among the people. Then waste, I would say, collection, segregation, or waste management should be proper. Industrial emissions should be, tracked. Whatever steps have to be taken for reducing industrial emissions, they have to be taken. They have to be done. So all this should be there. Now, in accordance with the Air Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1981, the CPCB, that is Central Pollution Control Board, will execute this nationwide program, that is National Clean Air Program. And there, as the Central Pollution Control Board is in the center, in every state there are state pollution control boards. So state pollution control boards will monitor city air quality and publish their findings on a regular basis. So this is the job of state pollution control boards. Now remember, National Clean Air Program 2019, when it was launched, target reduce concentrations of PM 2.5 and PM 10 by 20 to 30% by 2024. But in 2022, new targets were adopted. That is last year. They said that 20% to 30% reductions and nothing is going to happen. We should increase it by 40%. We should increase it to 40%. Means now 40% reduction is required from the 2017 levels of PM10 and PM 2.5. That was the new target, 40% reduction. But now here 1 year was also extended, 2025-26. Now UPSC can be very smart and it can ask, or it can give statements that according to the new National Clean Air Program, 40% reduction in PM 2.5 and PM 10 has to be achieved by 2024. Obviously, this is wrong. It has to be achieved by 2025-26. Now, this is where in detail you have to understand and retain things. Now, the revised target may prompt the respective states to increase their ambition through city-based action plans under National Clean Air Program. Now, earlier the target to 20 to 30%, now by 2024, now 40% by 2025-26. Why targets have been revised? Now, the idea behind achieving or revising this target is to ultimately achieve acceptable limits of both PM10 and PM 2.5 concentrations. PM10's acceptable limit is 60 micrograms per meter cube and PM 2.5's acceptable limit is 40 micrograms per meter cube, which we have seen. Now, to achieve this, we increase the targets. But see here, a 40% reduction in PM concentrations over 2017 levels would still result in unacceptable air quality in Delhi and NCR cities, Mumbai, Kolkata, Lucknow and Kanpur. In these cities, even after 40% reduction, that is the increased target, the PM 2.5 and PM 10 concentration levels will still be beyond these limits, which is, startling. But yes, there's one popular saying that aim for the stars, at least you land up on the moon. So let us achieve at least this much, 40% reduction. If it is achieved, then we will think of, upgrading our efforts more and more. It should not be that we should be targeting the last ladder or the last step in the ladder. We should start from the first step. And I think if it is achieved, then automatically in the times to come, maybe by 2030, the air quality standards in these cities also is met. However, many cities are expected to achieve much higher reductions also. Like for example, we have this example of Varanasi, which recorded highest 53% reduction in PM10 levels in 2021-22 over 2017 levels. This is just 1 year and just one pollutant out of two pollutants, PM10. What about PM 2.5? PM 2.5 is more dangerous because it is small in size, so it has the capacity to penetrate deep into the lungs. So this has to be seen. Now, the World Energy Employment Report. Now, as the name suggests, it highlights how many people are employed in which sector of the, I would say, energy generation. Energy generation can be categorized into fossil based fuels and non-fossil fuels, or I would say renewable sectors, non-renewable sectors. And we've seen that number of people getting employed in renewable sectors is increasing. Now you see India's, I would say, picture over there on this map. Now fossil fuels, clean energy. Number of people employed in fossil fuels, number of people employed in clean energy. Green is clean energy. So in India's case, you can see slightly more number of people are employed in clean energy as compared to fossil fuels. Similarly, if I talk about the entire Middle East, because you see yellow dominating over here, yellow means fossil fuels because extraction of petroleum is happening over there. But in many places like China, Europe, or I would say Central and South America, you will see in other Asia Pacific region also, number of people in renewable or clean energy sector, they are more employed as compared to non-renewable sectors, or I would say fossil fuels. This is basically the World Energy Employment Report which it highlights. Who releases it? The World Energy Agency releases it, or the International Energy Agency releases it, sorry. And this year's report has some remarkable, I would say, features. Like, employment levels are more than the pre-pandemic levels now. More number of people are getting employed into the renewable energy sector or the clean energy sector. This is all which is highlighted. So recently IEA, that is International Energy Association, released the World Energy Employment 2023 report. The key findings: global employment in energy sector grew by 3.4 million over pre-pandemic levels to 67 millions in 2022. Clean energy sectors added 4.7 million jobs globally and stand at 35 million. Fossil fuel jobs recovered because they were hampered by layoffs in 2020 when the COVID-19 pandemic came. Now, around 1.3 million people below the pre-pandemic employment levels are there. 32 million is there. Then, the job growth in clean energy as well as fossil fuel sectors remained positive in India. Now, with this, the country saw fourth highest number of new clean energy jobs being created in the past 3 years. The report mentioned 5 major sectors of the energy industry that led to maximum job creation post-pandemic. These sectors: first, solar photovoltaic cells; second, wind; third, electric vehicles and battery manufacturing; fourth, heat pumps; fifth, critical minerals. These 5 sectors have employed around 9 million workers until out of all the sectors. Solar photovoltaic cells emerged as the largest with around 4 million jobs. On the other hand, manufacturing of EVs and their batteries was the largest source of growth of this sector. So, it clearly highlights the story of, I would say, transition. Transition means where countries all across the world, they are transitioning or changing from using fossil based fuels to non-fossil based fuels. Number of people are also getting employed more and more in the non-fossil based fuel sector, which is obviously a good news because this clearly highlights the fact that people are realizing and recognizing one thing, that conservation of environment is necessary. Simultaneously, we have to develop also in the present times. Why not find out alternate ways of development? This is what the people have been thinking, and this is called as energy transition. Although there are certain risks attached with energy transition, like I would discuss this earlier also, like the government relies heavily on taxation of this energy, I would say, inputs. Taxation of these energy inputs simply means that a lot of taxes the government collects from this sector, that is the fossil based fuel sector, like on petrol and all. A lot of taxation is taken by the government and it is a substantial source of revenue of the government. Now, when this will be used less, obviously the revenue of the government will also reduce, which is obviously has to be compensated from one place or the other. What will happen to the jobs of the people or livelihood of the people who are currently employed in the fossil based fuel? Will they be also transforming to clean energy sectors? Well, if yes, then that is good. If no, then that will be a challenge in the future. So, this is how we have to look at things, and we have to connect things with one concept or the other concept. And if this ability is developed by you aspirants, then definitely you will get more and more marks, especially in mains. So, this is it from today's session. I will now be dealing with some other concepts. I've been seeing your comments. Whatever relevant in your inputs which you have given me, I will definitely be covering it in the future sessions. Like one very important topic which is left, that is emission gap report. I will be covering it in the coming lectures. Okay, and other topics also I will be covering. Till then, you guys know very well what to do. Keep studying, keep reading, keep writing, and most importantly, keep revising. Namaste. Jai Hind.